Jim Utter, Mike Embry, Steve Richards.
Jim Utter, Show Observer. Kyle, there seems to be kind of a perception among fans that if Jimmy Johnson does what he did here a year ago, comes out of the box, maybe leads practice, maybe wins the pole, maybe wins the first race, that the air is going to kind of get swept out of their excitement of that maybe somebody else could win. Do you think that perception is shared much by drivers or your competitors or by you, or do you just kind of look at, because you know he could win but you could have finished second and just be a few points behind? You try to focus on what exactly transpired in this race.
I'm going to tell you something. He'll come out here first practice and be top 5. He's going to be at the top of the board. He'll be, I'm sure, top 7 or 8 in qualifying, and he'll be right there leading the race. You know, so it's not going to take any wind out of our sails. It's a long 10 weeks. It might not seem that long, but it's a long 10 weeks, and anything can happen. So, you know, we can go to Martinsville, one of his best racetracks, and you know, he could blow up. He could get caught up in a wreck on lap 5 or lap 495. It is what it is. You know, it's inevitable. It's racing. That's why we don't know what's going to happen. But you know, we can certainly hope that the 18 car can keep it clean and go after this championship.
Let's go Mike Embry, Steve Richards, Mike Vega.
Kyle, I think everybody pretty much agrees that what Johnson has done the last 4 years is remarkable. But what to you is most remarkable about it? Is it Johnson's ability? Is it the cars have been so good in the chase every year? What stands out for you?
I think what stands out to me is no matter how he's run through the season and how many times you guys want to say, oh, he's vulnerable, boom, he's right there in the chase. You know, it's like they flip the switch on and they're there. They know how to do it. They know how to run these last 10 races. I don't know if they have a team meeting before every race and say this is what we're going to do today, and they end up doing it, or what, you know. But I don't think Texas was necessarily planned last year. You know, he got wrecked on lap 1 or 2 or whatever it was. You know, so it was just a product of what happens through the chase. You know, they're able to put it together. They always have fast race cars. Jimmy's a pretty smart driver and knows what to do in certain circumstances. And you know, he's pretty smart at knowing how to win a championship, being able to do it 4 times in a row.
Let's go Steve Richards and end with Mike Vega.
Kyle, could you talk about Dover? I mean, you won earlier this year. It's either feast or famine there. You've 2 wins and 2 DNFs, and how quickly things can happen, and that could be a mulligan for some guys.
Yeah, I'm not. I think the DNFs, one was a motor failure. I don't know what the other one was, but you know, it's a place where I guess I really like to go to. You know, I run well there in the trucks, the Nationwide cars, the Cup cars. I like going there. So it's a hard place to get around. It's a little bit treacherous and kind of tricky sometimes, especially with the way the rubber is there and with the way Goodyear brings different tires. And so I like going to Dover. We won there in the spring. I feel like we can go back there and kind of repeat that performance. You know, we ran top 5 most of the day and then made some really good changes towards the end of the race and got there to try to compete for the win. And we beat Jimmy on pit road. So you know, there again, I mean, you can have a mistake on pit road on the last pit stop during a green flag stop or something. So there's so many different ways to lose these races that you just got to keep your head on.
And your reality show, I mean, do you like how it came out, or how do you, when you see yourself on there, what do you think?
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. You know, I don't know how it came out. I just hear what I've heard through my Twitter and through Samantha's Twitter and whatever else. So and from the NASCAR media group, they've been telling us about their response that they've been hearing. So from what I hear, I mean, it's pretty good. You know, you're always going to have your naysayers and the people that don't like you or whatever. But you know, I feel like it was pretty good. And you know, seemed to shine a different light, I guess, in what we go through and what we're doing and how busy our schedules are sometimes.
Final question, Mike Vega.
Hey, Kyle. Mike Vega, Boston Globe. I did see the show, and I thought it was pretty good.
Thank you.
One interesting aspect of it, though, was the conversation you and Joe Gibbs had after the race at Richmond regarding the way you raced Denny towards the end of the race, and him saying to you, hey, why don't you go talk to him? Have you guys finally cleared the air about what happened at Charlotte and moving forward as to what will take place in the chase between you when you do find yourselves racing for important points, you know, at the end of a race like you did? I mean, you could have dive bombed him, like you said, and doored him, you know, I think at one point, and it seemed like you were sending a message to Denny. Was that the intent, or did you want to win that race too?
Well, I wanted to win that race, but I knew if I got in there and dive bombed him, that would cause a stir probably within the shop if, I moved him out of the way and cost him a second place finish or spun him out or something. So that wasn't worth it. And then secondly, I could have got in there, doored him, maybe got by him, but he could have got back by me. His tires were a little bit better than mine. So, I kind of used my stuff up to get there. But, it was a race that didn't mean anything. There were no points on the line. It was all about a win, kind of like the All-Star race is. And, I played it smart and did what I needed to do to make sure that we came into this chase without any more enemies than I probably already have, and just being able to keep the communication going. I mean, we're great teammates. We really, really work well together. We're great work associates, if you want to say it that way. We can talk about race cars all day long and what's going on there. And he lives a different life than what I live, so we really don't spend much time away from the racetrack together. Besides the times we go in the shop and see our guys and whatnot. So, besides all that, I don't feel like there's you've said clear the air. I don't know that there's really dirty air. It's just, us working hard and being able to work together to make Joe Gibbs Racing succeed.
If I could, certainly there are no team orders in NASCAR, but I mean, the points were valuable to Denny as well because it put him in the top as a chase, as the top seed. Were you cognizant of that? I mean, obviously, going in there and trying to, press the issue.
I mean, I knew there were points involved, but I would have liked us to have met our goal of 4 wins before we made the chase. That's what we were set to do, and I could have done it, but I probably also should have won Phoenix in the spring and Daytona in the summer. So it wasn't worth the chaos.
Kyle, thank you very much. Good luck this weekend.
All righty. Thanks.
Next will be Jeff Burton at 10:15. Jeff Burton at 10:15. If I could have your attention to, during our press conferences, if we could keep conversation at the back of the room and in the deadline room to a minimum,